Hey everybody.
What's up? Good evening.
Happy June the I don't even know
June the 6th, right?
Happy June 6th.
Yeah, my sister's birthday was the 5th, so it's June the 6th.
Hello. If you are watching us tonight, please say hello. We want to take the time to let everybody that watches us on YouTube hello to you. The audience is bigger on Facebook, but we do have one on YouTube, some subscribers on there. So we want to say hey to you. Thank you for your comments. We do see them. Sometimes we see them late, but we just want to appreciate everybody that likes the Paul Pack page and everybody that hits any of the videos to view them on Instagram, wherever you are. Please talk more to us. We would love to engage with you. We get a lot of inbox messages and we get a lot a lot of side conversation. People Nicodemus us. They don't want to be made known that they watch us or follow us, but that's okay. But if you're watching us tonight, please say hey. Hey Jess. And we're doing this
Jess, cuz, what up?
For the one. All right. We are not trying to be famous, but we do know there is an audience, a particular group of people out there that we are trying to reach. So that is who we doing this for. We want to jump in tonight.
It's the Paul Pack. I'm King Ant, the Papa of the Paul Pack.
And I am Cassandra, the mother of the Paul Pack. Hi, my friend. I so enjoyed you the other day. Thank you for loving me and being my friend, Madadi. I love you. Hey, Janelle, the newlywed. How you doing, girl? I told you to wait now. You just got married. We want to jump in there tonight. We don't want to belong to time. We want to use all our time. So the topic tonight is we're talking to the men. All right. So my husband is in the hot seat tonight. As you know, Anthony and I have been married for 25 years. And so there isn't a topic that we haven't had to go through, discuss, endure ourselves. We want to extend some of the wisdom and some of the things that we have gained over the years that we've learned. And so tonight, women, I am asking you women, I need you to separate the wife you or the fiance you from the person attached to that man. So if you're watching with your spouse, don't be giving dirty looks. Don't hit him upside the head.
Stay off of the men, ladies. Y'all help us out. Stay off of us. We in this together.
Yeah. And let's get the information. We do want you to talk. So you feel free to add your expertise, your experience. I'm going to read every single comment. Hey, Ursula. I just love you, girl. Yeah,
what
so...
up, Irk?
So, Irk. Oh,
that's
my God.
Right. She know that. She
okay,
know that
see. All right. So we want to jump in. Feel free to talk. Make sure your spouse, male or female, sees this episode and y'all open up a dialogue with yourselves. I want to let you know this is difficult sometimes for me. I'm a wife too, okay?
It's difficult for me too.
It doesn't get easier after 25 years. You would think that it gets easier, that you're a little bit more settled. But the reality is you have to work even the harder because you've been together for so long. So the amount of comfortability you feel and all of that kind of stuff is there. You start taking each other for granted. So you really have to trudge and work a little bit harder to maintain your relationship. And if anybody's been in a long-term relationship, you probably can vouch for that. All right. So the topic for tonight is, hi, Ma.
Hi, my-law. Hi, daughter.
Everywhere we go, there's nakedness. Women is out here looking good.
Put on y'all clothes, ladies. Help us
Shout out to the women who out here.
There's some beautiful women out there, too.
See, my blood pressure got hot there, but
I'm just being honest.
I'm going to separate it. It is beautiful women out here.
Beautiful women and men out there. I mean, for my wife, speaking for my wife, because I don't look at men, but
I don't think men believe that. I don't think y'all believe
that is what.
But we're not talking about us. We talking about stay focused. We're talking about the men. So to highlight, I'm just here to ask questions and get the knowledge. You ask or say whatever you got to say. All right. So everybody naked. And there's a scripture, y'all know Paul Pack always comes from the biblical perspective. So we are born again believers. We love the Lord Jesus Christ. So when we speak, we are always going to come from that perspective. Does that mean just because we saved, we got some special bubble we live in?
No.
In fact, it's harder. It's harder.
Right.
All right. So there's a scripture that talks about a man looking at a woman. Can you or
about
anybody?
Adultery. Matthew 5:27 and 28. It says, "You have heard the commandment that says you must not commit adultery. But I say anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart."
All right. So the question tonight is, how do you as a married man, and where the men at? Any men on here? Shout out to the men if you watch.
Shout out to my dog.
Please let y'all presence be made known. If you're not on
homeboys.
here now, when you watch this later, let your presence be made known and talk in the comments. People always read the comments. What is it like? Is it hard for y'all out here as married men that are in committed relationships? How hard is it? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I would say it's very hard because, like I spoke earlier, and I said it's beautiful women out there. All right, I mean, there's no question about it, no faking it, no doubting it, and also, it doesn't help when women are out there with half the clothes on, half naked. So it is hard for brothers to really, stay focused on their spouse. But it can be done, and we must do it. We must do it.
Okay, so the $1 million question is, with all these booties and titties and skin of all kinds of hues and curly hair, straight hair, whatever hair is out here, different sizes, different shapes, how are y'all able, first of all, what is it like? What is it like to see,
I mean, like, for a man gonna tell you they love it. It's nice. It's like being at a candy store or at a park, and it's different rides everywhere. Like, who doesn't like the fair, or who doesn't like going to the amusement park or being in the candy store and you got all kind of chocolate. You're a chocolate lover. And you got chocolate all everywhere, all different kind of candy. So, of course, a man is not they're gonna say that, hey, like that's what's up, But
so how do you stay content in your relationship with all these different choices all around you? How are you able to, Well, let me ask. First of all, do you look?
Yes, I mean, every man, I believe, looks, all right? If you say you don't look, I would say you're a liar. But it's a difference between looking. It's two different looks, all right? It's a look where you could look and you just see. But it's another one when you look with the intent, with the motive, and with the desire to want and to take, all right? That's a biblical theme, in the Bible. It's a design pattern that goes all the way from the beginning all the way through the Bible. When you look, that's what Jesus said in that gospel in Matthew 5. He said, for someone, you say adultery, the commandment of adultery, but I say that if a man looks with lustful eyes at a woman, he already committed adultery. So what he's saying is, you're not just looking and saying, hey, that's a beautiful lady right there, and keeping it moving. You're looking at her and you're gazing and you're desiring her, like, to say that, oh, I want her, like, ooh, yeah, I want that, That's the difference between just looking and just going on about your business and say, hey, that's a nice looking sister right there, and keeping it moving. And it's a scripture that says in James 1:14, how it talks about you are led away by your own lust and entice. And my belief is, I believe that, if you look at a woman and you desire her and you want to have her and you cheat or whatever, that desire was already in you. All right? You already had that lustful desire in you, and you looked and you acted on it. All right? Now, you may ask the question.
Well, I want to know, is it impossible? Is it possible not to desire? I mean,
yes, it is. It is possible to not desire, a woman, because especially when you already have a wife, all right, you shouldn't be desiring other women. So what happened is you could look at a woman and not have a desire for her, all right? But the thing that you have to watch for is if that woman speaks or says something in your ear gate.
Okay. So check this out. I have been around women. I've seen it in the workplace in many different scenarios. Our clothes are tighter. We sit them girls up high. We like a little cleavage. I've seen women of all shapes, sizes, whatever, and they really do try to get the attention of a man. Okay, I've seen it with my own eyes, and as a wife, I sit back and go, "Look at this hole here."
Why she gotta be a hoe?
And I got tight. Stay. I have to separate it. She knows he's married.
Right.
She knows he's married. Okay.
But that only makes it worse. When they know that you're married, women even come at you even more.
Janelle said, my husband is telling, yep, see, I told you, he agrees with Anthony. Right, so I've seen them bend over. I've seen them wear what y'all call teacher pants, the tightest pants in the universe. Teacher pants that your booty prints and everything about you shows. You can't get around on social media. It's on TikTok, Instagram, just nakedness all over the place, right? I've seen women purposely go out of their way to seduce a man or to try to get that man's attention. And somehow in the beginning stages of our relationship, I just, in my innocence, just believe not my sweet husband, no, not him. But you shared with me one time, we might as well go here, like...
You want to go there early, huh?
I do, we ain't got much time already ticking, Yeah, how do you avoid it? How do you avoid it? You was about to say something about when she talks or something like that?
Yeah, the ear gate, all right? It's because I was in a situation, and it's backed up biblically. Do you want me to do the biblical part?
Y'all first? See how he tried to say it's backed up biblically.
All right. Well, let me tell y'all. All right, in the beginning, everybody know the story. In the beginning, all right, Adam and Eve, when they were in the garden, all right, they didn't have any lustful desires in them. All right, so God told them, don't eat from the forbidden fruit, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. All right, they walked past it every day. They could eat from all the other trees, the tree of life, but they kept walking by this tree that God said, don't eat, don't partake of. So they didn't have the desire. They kept walking past it. They did what God said. They obeyed God. But what happened was when the serpent came to Eve, and spoke into her ear gate and said, did God say? Mm-hmm. And then he said, no, God just knows that when you eat of it, you're going to be like God. I'm paraphrasing. You're going to be like God and all this. Soon as he said that to Eve, that's when the desire came into her. And then when she looked at the fruit and saw it, she had a desire then, and it was a wrap. She was going to take and eat from it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say you have to be careful with it coming. You cannot have a desire to look at a woman and do something, but if they ever speak something to you and say, hey, yeah, you looking good, I give you this or something like that, then here comes that desire that, oh man, now you have to flee.
Okay, so you gave us the biblical version,
yes.
And you're right, that is what happened in the Bible. But as a married man, can you tell us, can you share that experience?
All right, yeah. Well, I was working with a young lady, and I was working with it, and I kind of, got in some trouble. All right, I did something I shouldn't have done. But what happened was the woman told me that, listen, I have been trying to get your attention for like 2 or 3 years. All right, I've been trying to get you to see me, to notice me. But I had a wife, and I had a wife that I loved, and she takes care of me, and she gives me everything I need. So I was not paying the lady no attention. She wasn't an ugly lady. She was fine, all that. But I got a fine and pretty and beautiful wife. So I wasn't paying her no attention. But the moment she spoke that into my ear gate and said, I've been trying to get you to see me all these years. I was leaving little notes and little this, trying to give you little hints. to let you know that, hey, I'm available. I want you. But I didn't see it because that desire was not in me. But that moment she spoke into my ear gate, that's when that desire came up in me. It's kind of like when I use that analogy today about how you be like, say you be in a little park, you have a little park on your own, you got all kind of rides and everything in your park, slides and basketball, all your little favorite little stuff you like to do. But then you look across at another playground and you see it might have some of the same stuff you have in your playground, but it might have one or two different things in that playground that you might see and you might go, oh, no, I would like to try that. I would like to get on that slide or that whatever. You know what I'm saying? So then,
all right.
But the thing is, if you do ever do that and you go over to that playground, you know what I'm saying? What you have to do is refocus. All right, you have to refocus.
Wait, okay, so don't go so fast because you ended up in that predicament. You looked and you desired and then you fell. You fell in that regard. That's a whole other story I could tell y'all. We'll talk about that some other time. But you did fall.
Right.
How then, first of all, is it impossible for men not to fall? Because I just believe at some point or another, because we are human, we all gonna fall.
It's very hard. It's very difficult.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible because I can't speak for every brother out there, but it's very difficult. If you married to somebody for a long time, I know some people been married 50 years, 60, 70 years. We've been married 25 years. Most of the people I've talked to, they have went through some infidelity in their marriage. At least once, twice, some more than that. But, I mean, it's very difficult for you. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible because, I mean, you might be better than me. You might be better than that next man or that next woman. So you could do it. So I would never say it's impossible. But it's hard. I would tell you that. It's very hard.
Okay. So you fell in that predicament, right?
Mm-hmm.
You looked, you desired, you fell. Just like Adam and Eve, just like so many other biblical examples. Right. David, he was looking for Bathsheba, sent for the girl, all this kind of stuff. All right. How then do you fix your gaze? Because there's so many young men out here who are married or want to be in relationships. People are engaged that are watching us. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. I didn't believe when I saw those women trying to get those men attention on my job. It never dawned on me that was happening at my husband's job or whatever, right? Never dawned on me. Ignorance. This was back in the day. Now, this was long time ago.
Yeah, this is way back.
So how do you then fix your gaze? How did you...
Well, the way I fixed my gaze
come back?
The way I came back and fixed my gaze is when I went over to the other park, that my main squeeze said, yo, you can't have both parks. So you're going to lose this part. So you're going to have to stay in that part. If that's what you chose and that's what you desire, then you're going to have to stay there. But you ain't going to keep jumping back and forth. You're not going to have both. See, because we greedy, all right? Us human beings, we are greedy. We like to have our cake and eat it too. We like to have...
Said, good thing my husband worked from home.
We like to have all of it. So, but when my spouse told me, oh, I'm about to lose this, that's when it jarred my memory.
But did you honestly believe as a man that you could have both parks? You wanted to do both parks?
No, I didn't want to do both parks because I can remember saying to the young lady that, listen, I'm not going to leave my wife and my family, my kids. That's what I said from jump. I said, I'm not going to leave my wife. So I'm letting you know right up front, I ain't leaving them. So, I mean... if that's what you want to do, then, but I'm not leaving. So I'm going to choose my wife, my family over you all day long. Mm-hmm. So, and we know how that goes. When you do that kind of stuff, women get kind of, they might agree with it. Oh, yeah, it's all right. Y'all know the stories about the side chick. oh, it's all right, and then they catch feelings and they get caught up,
Yes.
and they want to spend time with you, and oh, you always with your wife, or this is like, I'm married, that's my wife. Yeah. What do you mean? Like, you're the side chick or whatever y'all, that's what y'all use nowadays.
So Net is asking, so what was y'all looking to gain from the situation? And I'm trying to go back to that other comment that I saw too that Kevin had on there. What was y'all looking to gain from the situation?
Y'all, I can only speak for me.
Okay, go ahead.
I wasn't looking to gain that, but some pleasure, some desire, just being greedy. I can be honest, just being greedy. That's all. Mm-hmm. That's all my plans. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm finna marry you, I'm finna leave.
Right.
No, it was none of that. It was just me being greedy and being selfish.
Mm-hmm. So how do you fix your gaze back? How do you put your... You said, I jarred you. I said, you can't have both playgrounds. It ain't going down like that, right?
So I refocus and I put my attention back on my spouse and my wife.
How?
And one thing, ways to do that is your spouse can help you, all right?
Oh.
Your wife can help you by, dressing up more. We have a tendency to, like, when we've been in a marriage for a long time, we go out. When we go out, we dress up. We put on all this stuff. We look very nice. And then we come home with our husbands or our wives. We just don't try to look nice because we feel like, all right, we got them. I've been with them for this amount of time. So I don't need to dress up and all that for them. So you kind of just be busted and just having your what they call your bonnets on.
My bonnet.
And all that. And that man like, man, you keep wearing. They ain't the man that a lot of us men, we don't tell y'all this stuff like, baby, like you need to. But when we go out and we see another woman dressed up and looking nice,
because you talked about competition, whether we know it or not as wives. The reality is we are in competition. Even though we're married or you engaged, you are competing. So one of the things you said, because Janelle is asking, so how does a man keep from getting in this situation? Point blank in the period. How did you keep from getting in it? You got in it. How do you refocus if you...
Well, I mean, the Bible talks about how you should flee from sexual immorality. So, I mean, if that's an example, if that happens to you, you're supposed to do like Joseph did in the Bible. Joseph did that with Potiphar's wife. He took command over the whole house and he was doing right, in the house. And she came at him and she wanted to sleep with him. But he didn't have no desire in him to sleep with her. He said, no, I'm not sleeping with you. So it can be done. So it can be done. He didn't have that desire in him. But when she spoke into his ear gate and said, no, I want you, like, I want to have you, what did Joseph do? All right? Remember, once they speak in that ear gate, here comes that desire. So what did Joseph do? She went to grab it and Joseph took off. Mm-hmm. He fled. He ran away to the fact that she ripped his robe. Mm-hmm. All right. I know Joseph still went to prison because she lied and said he tried to rape her, but he ran away. So that's what I would say. That's what you have to do. Like if you don't have that desire, but a woman is coming at you, then you need to get away from her. You need to run away. If you got to change jobs, get moved to a different department, you have to do that to safeguard your marriage.
If you intend to keep the playground, the main playground, if you intend to do that.
Right, because I know a lot of men out there don't mind. A lot of men want that. They looking for that, but we're talking about the men who don't want to commit adultery and they want to be with their spouse, with their wife, and not cheat on them and do all of that.
So Zarema says, so how are you able to avoid the ear gate? Do you have female friends? Good question.
Do I have female friends? I really don't have no female friends. I mean, I have associates at my job, but I don't have female friends. No, I don't have any female friends. I only have a select few of dudes. That's my boys. So I definitely don't have any female friends, but I do, communicate with a lot of women on my job, all the time. I work in the school system. It's filled with women. So, but, it's just, I don't, look at them. I don't have no desire, to be with any of them. And if they speak into my ear gate, I know now that I have to go. I have to.
So know now from that situation, you learned I can't even let her get close enough to get into my ear gate.
Right. Don't be talking, oh, you smell good and you look good today. I like this and I like that. No, all right, okay, I got to go. Next time I'm going this way to go to the copying machine or whatever. So that's basically what you have to do. You have to, the Bible talks about it, you have to flee it. There's no way you could get around it because you don't live in a bubble. You live in this world, you work in this world. I know some of y'all said that your husband working at home. All right, but if he goes to the store, if he goes to the gym, if he goes to play basketball.
It's everywhere.
I mean, it's everywhere. No matter where you go, you're going to run into this. Everybody's going to be tempted some way or another. And we just have to we got to have discipline.
Yeah. That's
the key thing. We just have to have discipline to be able to say, no, I'm not going to do this. I love my spouse. And if you keep coming at me, I'm going to have to just run. I'm going to have to get away from you.
But what is discipline? I mean, because discipline is huge. First of all, if you know how to discipline your body, then you can discipline like your eating habits and different things of that nature. You could discipline any part of your body. Right. So how does that play into it? Is it the simple telling yourself no?
Well, a good way of doing that for saved brothers is to fast, all right? When you fast, all right, that gives you more power, more discipline to say no. That's why, because you're telling your body, no, I don't want this. Like, your body wants the food, but you're fasting saying, no, I don't care what you want. I'm training it. So when you fast and you train your body not to eat food when it wants food, then it's easier for you now to discipline yourself from falling into sexual immorality and falling into these women out here that's throwing themselves at you. So fasting is one of the ways. You look at Jesus in the wilderness. Jesus was fasting for 40 days and he was tempted in the wilderness. Now he's hungry, he's fasting, and the devil comes to him and said, I know you're hungry because you fasted for 40 days. Turn these stones into bread. And Jesus could have did it, but what did Jesus tell him? Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every.
But I do want to say, because you on here saying deny your flesh. You don't got to have everything you want or think. But Anthony says something that is very key. I remember that time in life. First of all, the Lord has showed me the incident. Again, I don't want to get into the specifics of that, but that situation did not catch me off guard. I just want to say that. I got the Holy Ghost. Right. Plus, I had been in some stuff of my own. And so you have to help these brothers, all right? We're talking about the brothers to hear it from their perspective. But if you know that it's difficult out here, you know it. Listen, we're telling you. If you don't know, we're telling you. It's difficult. Yeah. He just told you it's everywhere. Somebody on here said the wide world web is everywhere. You can't get around it. Everybody naked.
Yeah,
everybody wearing tights. Everybody showing you your coochie prints. They showing you your titties. It's out. Right. And so you can't help but see it. But what you can do is help your spouse, help your fiance, help the person that you are in a committed relationship. Help them. How do you help them?
And another way my wife taught me is, which men are bad at doing this. She said, honey, you could tell me, you could talk to me. She told me to come to her and tell her, like, if I'm struggling, if I'm about to fall into something, it's okay to talk to my wife about it and allow her, we're a team, allow her to help me fight against this temptation. But a lot of us brothers, it's hard for us to do that. We like to keep stuff to ourselves. We're the protector. So we want to protect our wife. We don't want to go tell our wife, hey, Sister Susie at the job really coming at me strong. You know what I'm saying? Because
and
you
don't
feel
even be blaming Sister Susie. I want Sister Susie. Sister Susie look good at the job. Yeah, she look good.
Yeah, because you feel like that's going to hurt your spouse. So if you say that.
And it will hurt your spouse. But I would rather, I think it's a good, what I was going to say before is you really do have to dress, keep yourself up, whatever like that. You got to bring it. I know sometimes the responsibility, but if we are one, and I know it's hard out here, I can't have the bonnet on all the time. I can't have my hair standing on top of my head all the time. You do have to wear the freakum dresses. You do have to bring out the negligees. You do have to spice it up. You have to not compete for his attention. Yeah. You're not competing, but you do have to keep it really interesting and keep the fires burning. And again, the longer you have been together. See, when you first get married, like Janelle, it's easy. It's like, woo, it's easy. Yeah. But man, when your marriage goes through so many different transitions, kids.
And have kids,
Yeah, 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Somebody's traveling. Somebody's at home. Schedules are on opposite sides. You have to really be intentional. So I'm telling you as women, we got to know it's hard out here. Don't make it harder. You have to have...
Hard out here for a pimp.
Pimp. You have to have sex, you guys. You have to connect. When you get in that bed or on the couch. Or
don't come talking about you tired and you've been working and all that. That other lady ain't going to be saying that.
What?
You heard me. Y'all better be like you said.
Connect. You have to connect. Sex, making love to your spouse is the ultimate way that you two connect with one another. So you can't be telling him no all of the time. There are people, you're not doing it just but he right. She not going to say no. She don't mind sucking him in the closet at the job. You understand what I'm saying? I hate to be vulgar, but that really is how it is, all right? When they confide, if they choose to confide in us, you have to separate yourself from being the wife that is hurt because he has eyes. If he handsome to you, he is handsome to everybody else, to some people. It's just what it is. If you find him attractive, somebody else finds him attractive. So if this brother...
True.
If this brother
she's not abusing y'all.
Comes to you and tries to confide in you, or you see them try, really y'all not gonna come out and be like, I'm struggling.
Yeah, ain't no man really gonna come out and say that point blank.
But the way that they do it is they might be a little bit more clingy. They might come sit by you a little bit more. They might touch you, engage you in conversation a little bit more.
You can't be throwing him off talking about, I don't work 8 hours and all that.
Well, we do work.
Right. Yeah, you do. Work. I know you do.
So what's some things that y'all could do after you confide? You mentioned your friends, other brothers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can confide and talk to other brothers. Because men have a kind of hard time, opening up to their spouse, to their wife, and telling them, that they think
that's
about
another conversation
and all that. So, but us brothers will talk to other brothers about it, and then you got to have some brothers that's true. You can't have them brothers that you be like, hey man,
hit it.
Sister so and so was coming at me, and they talking about, ooh boy, I seen her, she bad. You should hit that. No, you need some brothers that's going to say, hey, man, look, you're married, man. You don't want to lose that. You got a good wife. You got kids. If you do this, I'm telling you, you don't want to do this. You're going to pay in the end. You're going to hurt real bad. You need brothers like that that's going to encourage you not to go that route. And, I got a few brothers, that I talk with, and we have been through this before. And we bounce out after each other, and we just tell each other that, we help other brothers. And he be saying, man, listen. He tell his other homeboy, listen, you don't want to go that route, man. Trust me, I did that, and it was rough. I'm back together because one thing about it, when you break trust with your spouse and your loved one, it's hard to get it back.
Yes.
It's very hard. I'm talking about brothers. Y'all, once you do that, you going to have to go on a 10-year, maybe 20-year run before she get that out of her system. It's going to be 20 years later, and she going to remember that thing like it was yesterday. Oh, you remember that time when you cheated on me with such and such?
Yeah.
Honey, that was 1985. But that trust, it's that trust. Once you break that trust, it's hard to get it back. So you need some brothers that's going to encourage you and help you and say, man, I wouldn't do that. I know she fine, but your wife fine too. You better stick with her. Because I'm telling you, bruh, once you break that, it's going to be hard to mend it and bring it back together. So all I can do is encourage other brothers that, listen, you don't want to go that route. And sometimes, you know, we might be like, well, why did that happen to me? Sometimes God will allow you to go through stuff like that so you can minister and help other brothers out there. Because if you never been through nothing, you know what I'm saying? How can you help a brother who done been through that before, you know, who's struggling with that? How can I help them if I ain't never been tempted and I never failed? If I never failed, then how am I going to be able to tell him how to bring it back, how to get it back, how to reconcile and get it back together if I never been through it? So, you know, it said the Bible talks about counting all things for joy, so I counted all in joy. It wasn't,
I don't count it as no joy.
It wasn't a good thing, but anyway, it can help somebody else.
It can. Net said this is so much responsibility on the woman. Sound like I don't think it says when I was saying some of the things we can do as women to help.
No, you're a partner. Y'all are a team. You just
we don't struggle with eye gate. We don't struggle.
They struggle with the ear gate.
We gotta watch out for that man getting our ear. That's a different episode.
That's a different. Yeah, we ain't talking about that.
That's different. Yeah. Men are sight motivated. Right. It is how God made them. You cannot deny it. You can't pluck out their eyes. You can't do it. They're sight motivated. They get aroused by what they see. Anthony explained that the desire will come by what they hear. And vice versa.
If you don't have it.
If you don't have the desire, it can come by what you hear. But you could look at a woman and instantly get a erection. You want her. If she look good enough to you, if you desire her.
Yeah, it's already in you. So when you look, you already want her.
The responsibility is on the man, but I think that the women have a if you're in a relationship, you are one. So you got to kind of work that thing out together. Even if he comes, him telling me he attracted to somebody else doesn't make me feel good. I don't have no responsibility to bear in that except to hold him accountable or maybe pray for him. You understand? Really pray for him in that ordeal.
Yes.
There's so much I could say from the wife's standpoint, but we talking about the man tonight because it is ultimately his responsibility.
Right. And then it goes vice versa with the women with the
right. We didn't talk about this.
You know,
we'll do us later.
Men know that. Men be on the job speaking in their ear. You know,
absolutely.
And we have a responsibility to talk. Talk to your wife when you're at the house.
But we ain't talking about us. We on y'all tonight. Okay. So what else can you do? I think have you said everything that you want to say? And men, if you have some other ideas out there, please list them in the comments. People need to know. Women need to know, but other men need to know. How do I fight this battle? How do I fight this?
I mean, Jesus is the perfect example. I mean, I know I always say that and I talk about it, but he is. He's the perfect.
You're coming from a biblical perspective.
Right. He's the perfect example. When he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, all right, and God, you know, had put this thing on him to die for the sins of the world. And he didn't do anything. He didn't sin or do nothing wrong. And that was a hard task for him to do, is to die for somebody, to die for all of us. And when he was praying, what did Jesus say? He said, after he came back, he was saying, take this cup away from me. God, this is too hard. This is too hard. This us brothers is too hard. But then Jesus said, but not my will, but your will be done. So that's another thing we have to do. Not my desire, Lord, but your desire, your will, all right? You don't want me to, you know, cheat around on my wife and, you know, do sexual immorality. So
you had mentioned earlier about the playground, and you had told me when we were talking about this, because we talk about this kind of stuff all the time, but you were saying you came back to this playground. And you learn from being over there that, hey, here's the responsibility that I have to do. What was you saying about the playground? Can you tell them? You had to add stuff to your playground. You learned that you got to paint. You might have to paint in your own playground.
Yeah.
You
because you kind of get, once you've not been in the playground for so long, 10 years, 20 years.
Watch it.
No, I'm just saying, I'm using a playground as an analogy. I'm not talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, if you play on that playground, you know everything in it. All right, I got to swing set over there. I got the whatever, you know, the monkey bars, the slide. I got all that, and it's fun when you're doing it at the beginning and the first. But after a while, you kind of be like, all right, I know the monkey bars over here. This is there. So then you have to get creative. All right. Instead of looking at another playground and saying, "Oh, that got a little rocker thing over there."
That's a water park over there.
Right.
I shouldn't have said water park.
Well, you know. So you have to do other things. Then you have to get creative and start, you know, swinging. Maybe, you know, taking the swing and tying it up, making it high and swinging high. You know, just doing different things.
Get creative in your own playground.
In your own playground rather than going to another playground. Just getting creative. You know, doing it a different way instead of the same basic way that you've been doing it.
So that's the responsibility on the man, not on the woman. Yeah. You have to do that.
Right, on the man. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that younger men nowadays, because there's so many choices out here, I feel like younger men think that the world is at their disposal. It's certainly at their fingertips on the phone. And you could order you could order a woman or a man or whatever your preference is. You got porn. You know, men have so many choices and opportunities to be lured away. You know, do y'all pray?
Who?
Men.
Yeah, I pray. Men, yes, I pray. The Bible says you should always pray. Somebody asked the question, does continuous dating help?
Does continuous dating help?
Yes, that does help. You know, going out on dates. You know, me and my wife try and go out every Saturday or every Friday, you know, and we like to go to different restaurants and just, you know, mingle. That does help. I would say that does help because just sitting in the house all the time could get real stale and real boring. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, going on different dates does help. But a lot of times, too, man, women want us to do some things, too, for them. Like, they might want you to wear some different drawers or something to bed. My wife be wanting Speedos and all that stuff. I don't do that, but I compromise with it with some other little stuff. But, I mean, I can't do no Speedos. No, I can't do no Speedos.
And here's where we'll end the episode. You guys have any more
I can't do no Speedos.
Any more things? So you said, let's recap. Can y'all was watching, if you were watching, what are some of the ways that, you know, men they can't afford not to see. They're going to see. But how do they not gaze? How do they fix their gaze where the gaze is supposed to be? So let's recap. Let's just do it. Somebody said, I think the main thing, Kevin, I'm trying to get it, baby.
I think the main thing, aside from asking God to help you to resist the temptation, is to flee, as he had said earlier. Yeah.
But don't y'all feel like punks if you have to flee it? Wouldn't you rather just stay in it and just be like, yo, I can handle it. What's up? I can handle it.
Either you want to be a punk or you want to lose your marriage. Because one thing about it, that child support hit strong. So, you know, when that woman leave you and you got all them kids, I had
Is that an incentive to stay? Is that what you're saying? Is that an incentive to stay?
I'm just saying, nobody wants that child support. That thing could get crucial. I've never been on it, but I know a lot of brothers who never been on it.
And also, when you go to that other playground, the reality is that playground get old.
Right.
And then you're going to want to another playground and another playground.
The cycle continues.
When all you have to do is come and invest in your own freaking playground. Just invest.
Put some different swings in.
Tear down the old. Build something up new. Yeah.
Right.
But that ain't going to stop y'all from looking, huh?
Yeah. The child support, AB. I mean, I'm from Florida. Down here in Florida, they don't play with that child support. I know up north, they kind of let y'all slide a little bit more. But down here in Florida, I know a brother who got a $1.35 check.
But don't just use that as an example. That's a whole nother conversation. Because there's some brothers out here who not happy with their playgrounds.
Man, you better spice it up. You and your spouse got to get to communicating, talking.
Yeah, you got to open up.
One thing I did say.
We done. It's been an hour almost.
Another thing that hurt when you talked about they're not happy with their playground. See, a lot of us start off wrong anyway. When you get the playground at the beginning that you didn't really want in the beginning, then that's a problem in itself. Meaning when you marry somebody who that playground is not good for you. Like, you really don't like that playground. You just like one thing in that playground. But because she got a lot of money or she just pretty, but she ain't got nothing else, and you still marry her, now you're going to have a lot of problems because going on.
That's not what you desire.
Right. That's not. You already done messed up from the jump. So now them other playgrounds going to look very more desirable because you done jumped into a playground that it's only one thing in it you like, and she can't do nothing else.
So you wasn't honest
Right,
from the beginning.
From the jump. Don't get into that. Like, I need a woman, I need a wife that could pray. My wife could pray. She ain't just pretty, fine, and could cook, and could do all that. She's a praying woman, because I know I'm off the chain, and I'm going to need some help. I need you to get hold to the Lord for me. If you get in a relationship or a marriage and a woman that can't pray in, you going to always need prayer.
Yeah. So we're not excusing y'all from looking. What we're saying tonight is we understand it. Women,
Right, yeah.
you got to understand it. In order to conquer it, you have to acknowledge it. In order to whoop it or get in the fight, you got to acknowledge it. Don't be around here acting like it don't exist. Don't be around here telling yourself, not my husband, not my man, don't do that. You setting yourself up. And the main thing to do is open up a line of communication with your spouse. Learn how to be transparent with one another. And let that brother be himself, all of himself. First of all, they're never going to give you 100%.
100% what?
Of yourself. Like, you're never going to tell the wife every single thing. Yeah, that's another conversation. Just create it where they can be safe with telling you their heart. You know what I mean?
Without you going off, screaming and yelling.
And taking it personal. And taking it personal. Because we take it personal. Mm-hmm. We take that if he looking at her, it's something against me.
You don't love me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll never
I'm not sure what the voices are about. All right, then. Y'all got anything else we need to say tonight?
Yeah,
anybody?
We out of here.
Anybody? I can't believe it's almost an hour.
You go so long, man.
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching.
Yes.
Please add your comments. There's a lot more we could have said. We try not to be on here these long. Skip through it if you want, but I hope you watched the whole thing. It was a lot of nuggets on here. Thank you, husband.
Yes,
was that
you're
difficult
welcome.
for you?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I'm transparent, and hey, it is what it is. I know I ain't the only one out here going through this.
Looking. You ain't the only one looking.
All the other brothers.
Janelle husband, I don't know your name. You ain't the only one looking.
God bless y'all, brothers. I'm praying for y'all. Y'all
Look,
pray
don't
for
touch.
me. Y'all pray for me as I pray for y'all, because we need it.
We as women, though, have to be able to accept the transparency without feeling depreciated. Right. It's not personal. It should never be personal. Let me tell you when it's personal. It's personal when you know you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's when it get personal. Whole nother conversation. If you know you doing everything that you're supposed to do, and that man look and tempt and get desired, then that's on him. That's why I was able to say, oh, okay, well, one thing we're not finna do is share playgrounds, and the child can't slide there and slide here. We not sliding like that. Go over there. Because there is a part of you that knows, not perfect. I'm saying, you know what you possess. You know who you are. If I know who I am and I'm secure in who I am, then come on and be secure. I want to be able to me tell you stuff, and I want you to be able to be secure in telling me. Because if we can't tell each other, we telling other people, and you already defeated. Right. All right? Whole nother conversation. See, we could take that and talk about that forever. So, yeah, don't take it personal. Allow that man to be safe with you. Don't blow up. Sometimes you got to sit, take a deep breath, and just listen. Listen. Turn off the lights and talk. We do a lot of talking at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the dark. Yeah. That's where we have some of these real hard conversations.
That's the key nugget, ladies. That's what you call men really don't like. If you catch a man with the lights off and where he don't have to look directly at you, he'll speak more. He'll open up more.
Right.
But all this here, bringing him to the table,
And looking him in the eye.
Yeah,
You're interrogating.
Right, interrogating him.
He's not going to tell you.
That brother ain't finna tell you nothing.
He's not going to tell you. He'll tell. Oh, I almost said something. All right, then. Have a good night, you guys. We
Thank
hope
y'all for
we
watching.
said something that was edifying. Please share the episodes. It's a whole bunch of people out here that they're getting a lot of information from people who just be talking. Ooh, YouTube is filled with it.
3 years.
Yeah, we coming from a 25-year span. All right, take the wisdom and apply it. You have any questions? List them, inbox us, call us. Y'all know how to get a hold of us. All right.
Say your saying.
Oh, what's my saying? Oh, be careful how you treat people, especially your husband and your children.
And remember, less talking, women, more listening to your husband.
Well, then y'all need to close your eyes. Y'all need
See
to,
y'all.
Y'all need to pluck your eyes
We
out
out
and
of
walk
here.
around
Thanks
blind.
for watching.
Y'all need